At the beginning of the story, we meet a young girl named Autumn. One day, while exploring the jungle, she comes across a lost black jaguar cub. Slowly and gently, she earns its trust. She names him Hope and starts playing with him. In no time, the two become best friends. But suddenly, the sound of gunshots echoes through the forest. Autumn instantly realizes poachers are nearby. She quietly hides with Hope, staying completely still so no one can find them. The truth is, Autumn lives in the Amazon rainforest with her father Saul and her mother Ellie. Together they protect animals and defend the jungle from poachers. Later that night, Saul and Ellie finally find Autumn. The moment they see the cub, they understand everything. Hope is the baby of the jaguar that was killed by poachers earlier that same day. Autumn and Hope grow incredibly close. Seeing this, Ellie realizes that one day, Autumn will carry forward their mission to protect the forest. So she gives Autumn a sacred necklace from the Befriend tribe, a symbol of responsibility and connection to the jungle. But one tragic day, while trying to stop poachers, Ellie is killed. Saul is devastated. He refuses to risk losing Autumn too, so he takes her away from the jungle and moves to New York City. Autumn is forced to leave behind her home, her tribe, and her best friend Hope. 8 years later, a ruthless hunter named Doria is exploiting the Amazon under the cover of building a dam. In reality, she and her team are capturing animals and selling them on the international black market. Day by day, the forest is being destroyed. The leader of the Befriend tribe, Ore, is deeply worried, but he cannot fight back. The poachers are armed with modern weapons. So he writes a letter to Saul. In it, he explains that the forest is dying, the rivers have been poisoned, and if nothing is done soon, everything will be lost. He also reveals something shocking. Only one black jaguar remains in the entire region, and the poachers are hunting it day and night. If Saul knows any way to stop them, they need his help. Reading the letter, Saul feels deeply conflicted. He had promised Ellie to protect the jungle, but he cannot risk Autumn's life, so he chooses to stay silent. Meanwhile, Autumn is struggling. She dreams about Hope every single night. She can't sleep properly and starts filling her room with paintings of him. Or had mentioned Autumn in the letter, but Saul hides it from her because he knows if she finds out the truth, she will insist on going back. And Autumn cannot stand cruelty against animals. So when her biology teacher, Anja, orders a frog for experiments, Autumn takes action. She secretly calls animal cruelty authorities to report it. But instead of support, she's mocked by her classmates. Anja gets angry, takes her phone and suspends her from school for a few days. Still, Autumn refuses to give up. She puts up posters outside the school that read, "Stop animal abuse," because she wants everyone to understand animals feel pain too. When Saul finds out about this, he decides to send Autumn to live with her grandmother. But while packing her things, Autumn discovers Orr's letter hidden in a drawer. As she reads it, everything changes. The hunting, the dying forest, and the last remaining jaguar. She immediately believes that Jaguar could be Hope, and she cannot let him die. Angry and emotional, she confronts Saul. "Why didn't you tell me about this? That Jaguar could be Hope. We have to go save him." But Saul refuses. He won't let her go back to the jungle. Heartbroken, Autumn walks away. She misses her mother deeply and breaks down in tears. But then she realizes something important. Crying won't fix anything. So she makes a decision. She packs her bags and prepares to return to the Amazon on her own. To get her phone back, she goes to Anja. Anja looks at her bag and asks, "Where are you going?" Autumn lies, saying she's going to her grandmother's house. But Anja doesn't believe her. She senses something is wrong and starts asking about Saul. When Autumn refuses to answer, Anja figures it out. "You had a fight with your dad, and now you're trying to leave without telling him." Then she says firmly, "I won't let you do that." Anja picks up Autumn's phone and starts calling Saul. But Autumn panics. She can't let her father find out. In desperation, she grabs Anja's pet hedgehog, Kitten, and threatens to throw it out the window. Anja loves her pet hedgehog, Kitten, more than anything. Anja has no choice. She quietly gives Autumn her phone back. But just then, a notification pops up on Autumn's phone. Her flight ticket to Befriend has been booked. Before Anja can react, Autumn grabs her phone and runs. Now Anja understands everything. Autumn is heading to the Amazon without telling her father, and Anja knows how dangerous that jungle can be, so she decides to go after her. At the airport, Autumn calls her grandmother and lies. "I'll be staying at a friend's house for a few days, but I told Dad I'm coming to you, so if he asks, just tell him I'm with you." Her grandmother agrees to cover for her. A little later, Anja also buys a ticket and boards the same flight to Befriend. She plans to stop Autumn and bring her back. But by the time she gets on the plane, it's already preparing for takeoff. The flight attendant refuses to let her get off. Anja assumes the plane will stop somewhere along the way, and she'll get a chance to return with Autumn. But unfortunately, the flight doesn't stop at all, and once they land, there's no return flight available. Outside the airport, a large crowd is protesting against Doria's dam project. Among them are members of the Befriend tribe, but Autumn doesn't recognize anyone, so she sets out to find them on her own. At one point, she even tries to escape from Anja by leaving her in the restroom, but Anja catches up again. Soon the two end up traveling together in a vehicle. On the way, Anja finally speaks up. "I don't understand. How could you come alone to a place like the Amazon just to save a friend? Do you really think surviving here is that easy? Autumn fires back. You know very well that humans are destroying these forests, and as a biology teacher, it's your responsibility to stop it. But instead, you experiment on helpless animals. Anja has no answer. After some time, they reach a riverside. Anja keeps insisting that Autumn call her father, but Autumn refuses, and then she does something shocking. She throws her phone into the river. Anja is furious, but Autumn calmly says, "I'm doing this to save my friend." Seeing her determination, Anja can't force her anymore. Since Anja had visited Meirihava many years ago, she tries asking locals for directions. A man offers to take them by boat. As they travel through the river, they come across people illegally selling Amazon animals. Seeing this, Autumn realizes everything has changed, and they need to be careful. After a while, the man drops them off and leaves. Moments later, members of the Meirihava tribe arrive. Orr's daughter, Celia, immediately recognizes Autumn and is overjoyed to see her. She takes Autumn to Orr, who is also happy but concerned. Even Anja is amazed to see the tribe, but as soon as Orr learns that Autumn came without telling Saul, he insists she must go back. Autumn refuses. "I'm not leaving until I see Hope." Orr sighs and says, "What if that last jaguar isn't Hope? And even if it is, he's not a cub anymore. If he doesn't recognize you and attacks, your life will be in danger. That's why Saul tried to stop you." He adds, "I'll arrange for you to return soon," but Autumn ignores him. Instead, she goes with Celia to see her old home. The place has been abandoned for years and now lies in ruins. Inside, Autumn finds an old drawing she made of herself and Hope. Memories come rushing back. She then walks toward her favorite treehouse, but suddenly, Hope jumps out. Before Autumn can react, he attacks. His claws strike her shoulder, and she falls to the ground. After so many years apart, Hope doesn't recognize her anymore, and then he disappears into the jungle. Autumn lies there, injured. Later, Orr treats her wound. As the reality begins to sink in, Hope is no longer the same. Autumn, still in pain, looks at Orr and asks, "How did Hope change so much? We spent so much time together. Why doesn't he recognize me? Why is he running away from me?" Orr sighs and replies, "We still don't even know if that jaguar is really Hope. And even if it is, living alone in the wild for so long has made him dangerous. If you try to get close, your life could be at risk." The moment Anja hears that Hope is actually a jaguar, she's completely shocked. All this time, she thought Hope was a person. After treating Autumn's wounds, she falls unconscious, so everyone leaves her alone to rest. Anja turns to Orr and says, "I can't believe Autumn came all the way from New York City just to save a jaguar, and now that same jaguar has injured her." Orr then explains the harsh truth. Illegal animal trafficking is growing every day. Poachers will do anything to capture animals, and if Autumn tries to stop them from taking Hope, they won't hesitate to kill her too. He continues, "Saul knows all of this. He already lost Ellie while fighting these hunters. He can't afford to lose Autumn too. That's why he tried to stop her from coming here." Hearing all this, Anja is stunned. Now she finally understands why Autumn cares so deeply about animals. Later, Autumn is resting peacefully. Suddenly, she hears a familiar sound. Hope. She slowly gets up and looks around. As soon as Hope sees her, he begins to walk away. Autumn quietly follows him, sneaking past the guards and tracking his footprints deep into the jungle. Eventually, she reaches him. Hope stops and stares at her from a distance. For a moment, both of them hesitate. Years have passed. They're no longer the same. Autumn feels scared too. What if he attacks? Still, she gathers the courage and says, "Don't you recognize me? We used to play together. We grew up together. After your mother died, I was the one who took care of you." Hope does recognize her, but fear still holds him back, and he runs away again. Autumn is heartbroken. Tears fill her eyes as she calls out to him, but Hope doesn't return. With no other choice, she goes back to Orr. Thanks to the medicine, her shoulder has healed. Orr begins making arrangements to send Autumn and Anja back to New York City. He puts Autumn and Anja into a vehicle so they can return to the airport. But as the car moves forward, Hope appears. Running alongside them, Autumn sees him and instantly understands. He's calling her. Without thinking twice, she jumps out of the moving vehicle. Anja is furious and shocked. She forces the driver to stop and gets out too, but then she realizes her hedgehog kitten is gone. Without it, she feels completely lost and panics. The vehicle has already left, but she can't leave Autumn alone in danger. So gathering all her courage, Anja heads into the jungle to find her. After some time, she finally spots Autumn. She's sitting on the ground, arms wide open, right in front of Hope, and Hope is running straight toward her. Anja's heart stops. She thinks this is it. He's going to attack, but instead, Hope slows down and gently starts playing with Autumn. Anja is stunned. In her entire life, she has never seen a wild jaguar playing with a human like this. In disbelief, she pulls out her phone and starts recording the moment. But suddenly, gunshots echo through the jungle. The poachers have arrived. They start firing at Hope. Luckily, the bullets miss him, and he quickly escapes into the forest. Hearing the gunshots, Anja rushes to Autumn. Seeing her there, Autumn is shocked. "Why did you come back?" she asks. Anja replies urgently, "We don't have time for that right now. First, we need to find a way to escape these hunters." Autumn nods and begins following Hope, knowing he understands the jungle better than anyone. Soon, Hope jumps into a river. With the hunters closing in, Autumn and Anja have no choice. They jump in after him and swim across to the other side. Once they reach the opposite bank, the hunters lose track of them. Exhausted, they sit down to catch their breath. But suddenly, a python emerges from the water. Hope instantly climbs up a tree. Autumn follows him, but Anja freezes in fear. She's so terrified she can't even move. The python slowly slithers toward her, preparing to strike. Seeing his friends in danger, Hope leaps down and confronts the snake, scaring it away just enough to stop the attack. Taking the chance, Autumn climbs up the tree and uses a vine to pull Anja up with her. Breathing heavily, Anja says, "I can't believe this. Hope just saved my life. I never imagined an animal could help a human like that." Autumn smiles and says, "Hope is special. We need to take him to a wildlife corridor, a place where he can live safely in his natural habitat, far away from poachers." Anja agrees. It's a good plan, but night is approaching, so they climb to the top of tall trees where they can see the entire jungle. The view is breathtaking. Anja is amazed. Autumn says, "We should stay here tonight. It's too dangerous to move in the dark. The hunters are everywhere, and wild animals are harder to avoid at night." At first, Anja hesitates, but she realizes Autumn is right, so she agrees to stay. After a moment, she says softly, "To be honest, I've never met anyone like you before. You're incredibly brave." Autumn smiles. "I've been wanting to say something too. Even though I try to stop you from experimenting on animals, it doesn't mean I hate you. I actually respect you. You teach kids about animals, and if you want, you can inspire them, and even their parents, to protect the forest." Hearing this, Anja feels deeply touched. For the first time, she sleeps peacefully. The next morning, Autumn is playing in the water with Hope. For a brief moment, everything feels normal again. But then, the hunters return. Anja spots them first and warns Autumn. Hope quickly hands Autumn a hollow bamboo stick, then disappears into the forest. Understanding his plan, Autumn places the bamboo in her mouth and dives underwater, using it to breathe while hiding from the hunters. They pass by without noticing her. Once they're gone, Autumn comes out and continues following Hope. Anja asks about the plan ahead, but Autumn admits she's lost. Now their only option is to trust Hope and follow him. As they move forward, Autumn suddenly collapses. Her leg is injured, hurt earlier while escaping the hunters. Anja quickly crushes some leaves and applies them as medicine. Autumn looks at her and says, "It's sad your pet hedgehog is gone, but I'm sure it will find a place in the wild and live happily." Anja smiles gently and shares her story. "I used to be very scared and had no confidence. One day, Kitten came to my house badly injured. Its leg was broken. It looked at me like it was asking for help. I was too afraid to even step outside alone, but for Kitten I did. I took it to a doctor and saved its life. That day, I realized something. If you want to do something meaningful in life, you have to face your fears." After that, I became a teacher. After some time, Hope signals Autumn to follow him. He leads them to a hidden location deep in the jungle, and what they see is shocking. It's Doria's base. Dozens of animals are being captured and prepared for transport out of the forest. Anja quietly takes out her phone and starts recording everything. But then, something shocking happens. Celia is there too, and she's helping the poachers, selling animals. Seeing this, Autumn is completely stunned. She lets out a scream and instantly gives away their location. The poachers notice them. Within seconds, they fire a tranquilizer dart at Hope, knocking him unconscious. They capture Autumn as well. Anja is terrified. She runs, trying to get help, but suddenly, Celia appears in front of her. Anja doesn't trust her at all, so she takes control herself, drives straight back to the tribe with Celia. Once there, Anja shows Ori the video she recorded of the poachers and begs him to help Autumn. Celia reveals something important. Doria is planning to move Hope to another location. Hearing this, Ori takes action immediately. He scolds Celia for betraying their values and helping the poachers. He sends Anja to a local news station to expose the truth to the world. At the same time, he gathers the entire tribe to stop Doria. At the news station, Anja interrupts a live broadcast. She shows the footage of Doria's illegal activities and pleads for help. The truth spreads fast. People begin to realize what's really happening. Meanwhile, the tribe blocks Doria and her men from escaping. In desperation, Doria orders her men to attack. But just in time, more people arrive, and soon, the police show up as well. Surrounded and exposed, Doria has no way out. She and her team are arrested for their crimes. Anja rushes to the cages and opens the door. Hope is finally free. Autumn runs to Anja and hugs her tightly, thanking her with tears in her eyes. Then, with Hope by her side, she walks back into the jungle, and just then, Kitten returns. Seeing her little friend again, Anja is overwhelmed with joy. Soon after, Saul arrives. Together, he and Autumn visit Ellie's grave, placing flowers in her memory. After everything that has happened, Saul finally makes a decision. He will stay. He will return to the jungle and protect it, just like he once promised. Autumn is happier than ever. Autumn didn't just save Hope. She reminded us that animals aren't just part of nature, they're family. If this story touched your heart, make sure to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. And don't forget to share this video, because awareness is the first step to saving lives. Until next time, protect what can't protect itself.